Okay guys, well I just did, I just attempted to do this mail opening video already, so I was about halfway through it and the video has failed. So basically what has happened so far is I've opened this package which had this OP kit Winter Soldier in it. I sort of explained that I had a plan for this with Dr. Killebrew and Yellow Jacket from Civil War, where in Yellow Jacket was going to perplex up all of their attack values, and then Killebrew and Yellow Jacket were going to mind control him. But what I didn't realise at that time was that there have to be a higher point value to mind control him with this trait. But regardless that I got this anyway, it's been sat in my watch box for a while. I haven't had a Winter Soldier for quite a while. The last one was the Winter Soldier starter set one, and at the time I found that one really disappointing. Not so much now, I've played it since and I thought it was okay, but at the time it really didn't play well. After that I sort of segued into this package because it was not Clix related. I may have just accidentally flashed you my address there. Please don't send me any Clix if you saw it. So essentially this says Hulk says please do not smash on it, which I quite appreciated. And then on the back it said open and a flash, which I also quite liked. And basically what this is I got a hankering to read the Superman Red Sun anthology, so I put that on order. I got this for 12 quid on eBay, and I like the guy's style with his packaging already. And basically yeah, I wanted to have a look at that because I've been collecting all the chases without really knowing anything about them, other than the fact that they're cool as. So then I segued from that, which that was going to be my middle package anyway. It was kind of an unintended segue. But that takes me into this next package. This is from Blue Rat Games, blueratgames.com, which are a HeroClix retailer that I'd really recommend. I know the guy myself, he's a pretty cool guy. He had a 25% spring sale off on all items. He does those sales now and then, and they really bring sort of things that you otherwise wouldn't afford into something you'd willingly pay for. So anyway, I'm just going to get into this. Right. So the first thing that, oh god, it is packed to the gills. Okay, so the first thing I'm taking away from this is the, hold on, we'll start off with, oh I can't see what's going on for all the packing things, so I'll just pull everything out, pull all them out and just start poking people out the bottom. I think I need to rephrase that one. So the first thing I ordered was 3 ninjas, so there's one of them. I'm quite disappointed by the ninjas, but since we're getting hand ninjas in Defenders War, assuming they aren't impossible to get, I'm not too disappointed. A guy at my locals wants to collect. He was the guy at every locals who bought the most into the Deadpool set. A guy wanted to collect them for himself, so I was pretty disappointed about how difficult it was going to be for me to get them. But as I say, with the sale, it brought them down to about £1 each, so I just started went for them. Next thing I went for was Princess Python, because she is just a unbelievably good figure for 30 points, and I just thought she'd be worth picking up. The next thing I went for, as some of my Instagram followers may recall from a couple of posts ago, I am on a major Skrulls binge right now. I still haven't even read Secret Invasion. I just absolutely adore them. They were what got me into Clix, to be honest. And I've put an order for Troll and Toad in. That should be on its way in a couple of weeks. And I've also got another basket ready, and then another load of stuff I can put in the basket. Basically, I'm buying all the Skrulls. And what this is this is the 10th anniversary Captain America chase. And he is a Skrull, and he is really good. And with the wording of his leadership, basically in addition to normal effects, he can take an action token off a Skrull, which means he can take an action token off a character and an action token off a Skrull as well. Or at least that's what we've house ruled it as it probably should be. I mean, it says in addition to normal effects, but it's one of those ambiguous things really, I suppose. There's another ninja, and then finally I'm just going to, well, next up I'm just going to pull out this last ninja. I'm getting packing peanuts falling out of all of the holes as I'm poking figures through. It's really decorating my floor in a way I was not expecting to ever see. If I can get her out without breaking her, that is. So I only got 3 in the end because I didn't want to sort of overdo it. I didn't know how many of them I need with the new ones coming out. But yeah, I just went for the 3. I really don't like the sculpt of these. It's literally a Psylocke repackage, and why they chose Psylocke for it, I don't really know, but they did. So I guess we have to deal with that. But the last and most important thing, and why the Red Sun segue was so important, was because he had this Red Sun Batman listed for £20, and then with a 25% off sale it came down to 15, so I was like, yeah, I'm not getting one cheaper than that. So that is the next figure in my Red Sun collection. What I was going to do was I was going to have the other ones on hand ready to sort of showcase them all, but what I've failed to do is prepare them, because I've basically just got home from Leeds, and basically I've had something to eat, and I've just gone straight into this because I've just got so much stuff to do. I didn't want to be faffing around with theatrics and having stuff and being like, oh, look what I have to show up. So basically that idea went by the wayside. But the Batman is here. I'll probably Instagram a picture of all the ones I have. I basically need green light. Well, I literally need green light and Brainiac now. It's a shame that Brainiac's the most expensive one, and that green light, it doesn't strike me as very good. It's really good ID calling, but it's really expensive. You can't find it as cheap as you can find a Batman who would be a really good ID calling if his dial was the other way around. Anyhow, I'm just going to flip the camera now so you can get a proper look at everybody. So, I don't know how good this is going to look because the video preview on my camera is pretty terrible and the lighting is absolutely shoddy. But here are the ninjas, the 3 of them. So that's 4 I have now, so I have about 60 points worth. And yeah, I'm really obsessed with hand pieces. These are not my favourite, but absolutely are not my favourite hand ninjas ever. But they're pretty good, and they'll get some games, and they'll probably work their way up in my opinions. This is Princess Python. She's sort of falling over a bit. But yeah, as I said in the video, she's just a really good piece. There's a Captain America. He's probably, or possibly, depends how badly he plays. A lot of Captain Americas, for me, play really badly. But he's possibly the best Skrull there still is, for his points and so on and so forth. And finally, it's the Red Sun Batman here. So yeah, so this basically between them was 2 chases for about £22, so that's not too bad. And then the Princess Python was about 4, I think, and the ninjas were £1 each, so that's not bad. So that's pretty good prices from Blu-ray. So what I'm just going to do last here is I'm just going to showcase the figures I got in my Civil War booster while I was in Leeds, because I thought I might as well try my hand at something. I went down to Patriot Games, which is also a pretty good store, although I've only been there twice. And the first time I went there, I bought an X-Men booster, and I pulled a Sabretooth, which I already had. Literally everything in the booster I already had, apart from a Warpath, which, to be fair, Warpath is a big character for me, so that wasn't too bad. But you know, it was a pretty terrible booster, and I've still got all of it now, just sat in my trades, and that was bad. But this time was not the same case. First of all, we got the 001 Captain America, who is actually a pretty good figure. I mean, I basically ordered a lot of the Civil War stuff, like the stuff I was interested in, and he apparently was not one of them, but I quite like the look of him. What I don't quite like the look of is this guy, Goldbug. I just can't think of a context wherein he is worth using. Give him a range combat action. After actions resolve, you may choose to give an action token to all hit characters and all characters adjacent to them. If you do, heal those characters 1 click for each action token on them. So basically, the only way I can see that ever being useful is if there's someone who's so close to death, you're going to kill them anyway, who is adjacent to a lot of people that you control that have multiple action tokens, but I can't see that ever being a case. Next thing I was disappointed by was this Ms. Marvel, because not only is she a terrible figure, apart from the fact that she's a reasonably priced ID calling, although I don't know, is her card going out? I can't even remember. But basically there has never been a game where I have not went straight from Super Strength on a Psychic Blast and Energy Shield, and then she has just gotten her face caved in. Plus she is, of course, a trade, because I've already got one. So that wasn't ideal. That'll probably be going to my dad. The next figure was Battlestar, which is, this guy's really good. If you just start the game, I'd advise picking this guy up, picking this guy up, maybe picking Ms. Marvel up even. Probably not Goldbug though. But yeah, this guy's really good. He gives leadership to someone next to him, and he's just quite a tough hitter. In the 1 month of Civil War I actually played, my Ms. Marvel sort of hit him pretty reasonably hard with her object, and he just took it, and because of the fact he took it, the entire team just took her in the next turn. Which wasn't ideal. And then the last piece, which I've sort of built up all the other figures just so I could wait to talk about, is the Venom, who is a hideously painted figure, but this guy's really cool. He is Mac Gargan, which is Scorpion. I don't think this is the best Venom we have out there at the moment. I don't think this is the best Venom I have, but yeah, he's a pretty cool piece. I think the one from Superior Force of Spider-Man, I think he's better as a Venom, but this guy is a 90-point ID target. So that's it really, that's the mail opening for the day. Oh, wait, no, I tell a lie, I've got one more thing to talk about, and that is this guy here. That is the What If Juggernaut. I didn't check in the Leeds Forbidden Planet because they don't sell HeroClix, but I looked in Patriot Games when I was buying this booster to see if they had them, and they did not. So that was pretty disappointing. But I'd messaged my brother the night before to remind him to ask him to pick one up for me, and my dad picked me up, picked us up two. He picked up one for himself and one for me. And it's ironic because before the X-Men set, we didn't have any Juggernauts, and now all of a sudden we've got 6 between us. We've both got 2 of the uncommon UXM one and one each of this, and yeah, I don't really understand where the influx of Juggernauts has came from, but I'm not really complaining. The UXM one is really good. So that's basically the mail opening for today. Check out the last one, it was much more interesting. There were a lot more outtakes, it was a lot funnier. But yeah, that's it basically. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next video. Yo guys, what the fuck was that? All of the holes, and well, basically he sent me a couple of figures here. Well, he's not sent me them, I bought them off him, but because so there's the third one. I really don't like the sculpt, it's just